Hello everyone, this is Gautam Mahesh, registration number 18 BME 1147, and here I am to present you my digital assignment 3 of subject Power Plant Engineering on the topic classification and types of boilers, that is fire tube boiler and water tube boiler, its components and working in detail. So let's get started. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss today. That is what is boiler, types of boiler, simple vertical boiler, Cochrane boiler, Babcock and Wilcox boiler, advantages and disadvantages of water tube boilers over fire tube boilers. What is a boiler? Boiler, which is also known as a steam generator, is a closed vessel in which water is converted into steam above atmospheric pressure by the application of heat. The steam is used for driving prime movers like steam turbines for power generation. So, on the basis of flow of water and hot gases, boilers can be classified as fire tube boiler and water tube boiler. Water fire tube boiler. Hot gases pass through the tubes which are surrounded with water. Examples are vertical, Cochrane and Landshire and locomotive boiler. Water tube boiler. Water circulates through a large number of tubes and hot gases pass around them. On the basis of number of tubes, single tube and bank of tubes. Single tube, Lancashire boiler and bank of tubes. Example is locomotive boiler. On the basis of axis of shell, they can be classified as vertical boilers and horizontal boilers. And on the basis of location or position of furnace, they can be classified as internally fired. The furnace forms an integral part of boiler structure. Example is vertical tubular or locomotive boiler. Externally fired, it has a separate furnace built outside the boiler shell and usually below it. Example are horizontal return tube boiler. On the basis of application, they can be called as stationary boiler or mobile boiler. Stationary boiler, boiler which is installed permanently on the land installation. And mobile boilers are those marine boiler which is meant for ocean cargo and passenger ships with an inherent fast steaming capacity. And on the basis of steam pressure, they can be classified as low pressure boiler, medium pressure boiler and high pressure boiler. So let's look into detail of simple vertical boiler. Simple Simplest form of an internally fired vertical fire tube boiler. It does not require heavy foundation and requires very small floor area. So these are the components of the simple vertical boiler, that is cylinder shell. The shell is vertical and is attached to the bottom of the furnace. Greater portion of the shell is full of water which surrounds the furnace also. Cross tubes. One or more cross tubes are either reverted or flanged to the furnace to increase heating surface and improves water circulation. Furnace. Combustion of coal takes place in the furnace. Grate. Placed at the bottom of the box and coal is fed on in the burning. Fire door. Coal is fed to the grate through the fire door. Manhole. Provided on the top of the shell to enable a man to enter into it and inspect and repair the boiler from inside. It is also used for cleaning purpose. Handholds. These are provided in the shell opposite to the ends of each cross tubes for cleaning the cross tubes. Ash pit. It is provided for collecting the ash deposit which can be removed away at intervals. So here is the working of the simple vertical boiler. The fuel, that is coal, is fed into the grate through the fire hole and is burnt. The ash pit placed below the grate collects the ash of the burning fuel. The combustion gas flows through the furnace, passes around the cross tubes and escapes to the atmosphere through the chimney. Water goes by circulation due to convection currents from lower end of cross tubes and comes out from the higher end. These are some mountings which are usually placed in all the boilers. Some of them are pressure gauge. It indicates the pressure of the steam inside the boiler. Water gauge. It indicates the water level in the boiler. Safety valve. It prevents an increase of steam pressure in the boiler above its design pressure. Steam stop valve. It regulates the flow of steam supply to requirements. Cochrane boiler. It is a multi-tubular vertical fire tube boiler having a number of horizontal fire tubes. It is a modification of simple vertical boiler where the heating surface has been increased by means of a number of fire tubes. So let's have a look at the construction of the Cochrane boiler. Uh, Shell. It consists of shell. It is hemispherical. It is hemispherical on the top, where space is provided for the steam grate, which is placed at the bottom of the firebox, and coal is fed on it for burning. Firebox. It's a dome shaped like shell structure, so that gas can be deflected back till they are passed through the flue pipe to the combustion chamber. Flue pipe. It is a short passage connecting the firebox with the combustion chamber. So fire tube, a number of horizontal fire tubes are provided, heating surface is increased. Combustion chamber, it is lined with the fire bricks on the side of the shell to prevent overheating of boiler. Excuse me. Hot gases enter the fire tubes from the flue pipe through the combustion chamber. Chimney, it is provided for the exit of flue gases. Manhole, provided on top of the shell to enable a man to enter into it and inspect and repair the boiler from inside. It is also used for cleaning the interior of the boiler. Let's look at its working. Coal is fed into the grate through the fire hole and is burned. Ash formed during the burning is collected in the ash pit provided just below the grate. Then it is removed manually. The hot gases from grate pass through the flue pipe to the combustion chamber. The hot gases from combustion chamber flow through the horizontal fire tubes and transfer the heat to water by convection. These are the mountings. Pressure gauge, it indicates the pressure of the steam inside the boiler. Water gauge, it indicates the water level in the boiler. Safety valve, it prevents an increase of steam pressure in the boiler above its designed pressure. Blow off cork, when it is opened during the running of boiler, high pressure steam drains out through the impurities like mud, sand, etc. Fusible plug, it protects the fire tubes from burning when water level in the boiler falls abnormally low. These are some salient features of Kosharen boiler. The dome shape of the furnace caused the hot gases to deflect back and pass through the flue. The unburnt fuel, if any, will also be deflected. It occupies comparatively less floor area and is compact. Spherical shape of top of the cell and firebox gives higher area by volume ratio. So the next boiler is Babcock and Wilcox boiler. It is a water tube boiler used in steam power plants. In this, the water is circulated inside the tubes and hot gases flow over the tubes. It consists of various components. So let's look into detail. Steam and water drum. One half of the drum, which is horizontal, is filled with water and steam remains on the outer half. Water tubes. They are placed between the drum and furnace at an angle of 10 to 15 degree to promote the water circulation. Uptake header and downcomer. The drum is connected at one end to uptake the header by short tubes and the other end to downcomer by long tubes. It consists of baffles. The fire brick baffles, which are 2 in number, are provided to deflect the flue gases. Superheater. The boiler is fitted with a superheater tube which is placed just under the drum and above the water tubes. It consists of mud box. It is provided at the bottom end of the down corner. The mud or sediments in water are collected in the mud box and it is blown off time to time by means of blow off cork. And inspection doors are provided for cleaning and inspection of the boiler. Let's look at the working. Coal is fed to the grate through the fire door and is burnt. Flow of flue gases. The hot flue gases rise upward and pass across the left side portion of the water tubes. The baffles deflect the flue gases which travel in zigzag manner over the water tubes and along the superheater. Water circulation. That portion of water tubes which is just above the furnace is heated comparatively at a higher temperature than the rest of it. Water density being decreased rises into the drum through the uptake header. Here the steam and water are separated in the drum. Steam being lighter is collected in the upper part of the drum. Water from drum comes to the downcomer into the water tubes. A continuous circulation of water from drum to water tubes and water tubes to drum is maintained. Circulation of water is maintained by convection currents and is known as natural circulation. Superheating. Steam is taken from the steam space of drum through a tube to superheater. Steam is superheated as it receives additional heat. A damper is fitted to regulate the flue gas outlet and hence the draw. Let's look at the necessary mountings. That is, pressure gauge and water level indicators are mounted. Steam safety valves and stop valve are mounted at the top. Blow off cork is also provided for mud and sediments removal. These are some salient features. Its overall efficiency is much higher than the fire tube boiler. The defective tubes can be replaced easily. All the components are accessible for inspection even during the operation. The the draught lot is minimum compared with other boilers. Steam generation capacity and operating pressure are high compared with other boilers. The water tube, as already mentioned, are kept at an angle of 10 to 15 degree to promote the water circulation. Advantages of water tube boilers over fire tube boilers. Steam can be generated at a very high pressure. Heating surface is more in comparison with space occupied in case of water tube boiler. Steam can be raised more quickly than it is possible with a fire tube boiler of larger water capacity. A good and a rapid circulation of water can be made. Bursting of one or two tubes does not affect the boiler very much with regard to its working. Hence, water tubes are sometimes called as safety boilers. The different parts of water tube boiler can be separated, hence it is easier to transport. The hot gases flow almost at right angles to the direction of water flow, hence maximum amount of heat is transferred to the water. So these are some disadvantages of water tube boilers. It is less suitable for impure and sedimentary water, as a small deposit of scale may cause overheating and bursting of tubes. Hence, water treatment is very essential for water tube boilers, and the maintenance cost is very high. Failure in feed water supply, even for a short period, is liable to make the boiler overheated. Hence, the water level must be watched very carefully during the operation of water tube boiler. Thank you, everyone.